Nothing signals the success of a television show more than when the actors grow to love one another. As crew members aboard Below Deck Down Under, Captain Jason Chambers and Aesha Scott clearly respected and cared about one another. However, Captain Jason has begun to stay up to date with the show now that Aesha has gone on to Below Deck Mediterranean. The Bravolparty has expanded his selection of Below Deck content to include Med. Since Aesha Scott is on Below Deck Mediterranean, I have definitely been watching. Jason exclusively told Us Weekly, "I don't usually watch Med that much, but I might just pop in and get some bites." Watching sailing, Captain Glenn Sheffard, Captain Carrie Titherage on Below Deck, and Chief Stu Fraser Olander at work are all things I like watching. Because Aesha is on the Med this season, I've been watching the entire thing. In essence, it seems like Jason enjoys comparing notes with other series leaders. He talked at length about some of the turmoil that has occurred on Below Deck Med this season, including how he would have handled Chef Jonathan Shillingford. He talked about the internal drama his Chief Stu had to deal with as well. We want to make an effort to retain them and help them grow till they are successful in the real world. The fact that we have truly completed the task at hand gives us captains more satisfaction. We do have 9 weeks, though, when it comes to these franchises. Jason stated of the turnover on his boats, "We want to try and see a result because we don't have a year or 6 months." The reality TV star was probably talking about Bry Muller's unredeemable laundry room management. At the conclusion of the 9 weeks, as captains, we will make a choice if we don't see that outcome materializing. Because, Jason said in closing, we want to see a success story. We don't know the crew or the boat until we arrive. Bringing that team together will allow us to get the greatest possible result. Even after facing serious charges of fabricating their subpar performance, Captain Jason Chambers of Below Deck Down Under gave a crew member of Below Deck Mediterranean high marks. Throughout the history of Below Deck Down Under, Captain Jason has gained recognition for his words of encouragement. Even though Captain Jason is currently one of the less experienced captains on the Below Deck team, he has no problem telling his crew when they've made a mistake. A few of crew members have been doing so poorly throughout Below Deck Mediterranean Season 9, to the point that some viewers are questioning the sincerity of their performances. As the Mustique Cruise charter season draws to a close, Captain Jason said in an interview with Us Weekly that he's been following Below Deck Mediterranean more than ever and that he has some advice for them. Captain Jason expressed his happiness that Chef Jonathan Shillingford overcame his early season setbacks despite his subpar performance. Captain Jason pointed out that he can readily adapt to the situation. He's had some dark moments, but he's come to terms with the situation. Even if he would have handled things differently, Captain Jason was pleased with Jono's success. He mentioned that it was wise of the crew to make changes after realizing that the rest of the crew was under stress due to Chef Jono's problems early in the charter season. Captain Jason said, "He made the adjustments after I noticed in later episodes that he was preparing some meals before going to bed. Even though he may follow a somewhat different procedure Below Deck Down Under, he expressed gratitude to Captain Sandy Yon for working with Chef Jono to make arrangements for everyone. You just get up and go into it, making adjustments after 1 or 2 charters. They adjusted appropriately. He seemed like a skilled cook that manner. I saw in subsequent episodes that he was preparing certain dishes before going to bed, so he made the necessary modifications. He is able to adapt to the situation with ease. Though he has had some low points, he has learnt to rise to the occasion." While Captain Jason has personally faced some really challenging situations throughout his Below Deck charter seasons, the Below Deck Down Under skipper takes pleasure in witnessing other captains resolve similar problems. Despite the fact that there were a variety of problems with Chef Jono over the season, Captain Sandy was able to collaborate with him and the other crew members to create a better working atmosphere for everyone. Although Chef Jono's performance during the first part of the charter season was subpar on several counts, including his attitude toward the interior crew and his service, his attitude soon improved. Captain Jason makes it obvious that he is not among the Below Deck viewers who find solace in watching crew members suffer during the season by criticizing Chef Jono's performance. Instead than relishing the drama that arises when a crew member struggles in their role, Captain Jason seems to find satisfaction in seeing crew members resolve their problems and elevate their performance as the charter season progresses. "I'm glad Chef Jono has a workaround. The below-deck down-under skipper appreciates the effort and is aware of how challenging the chef's job may be on a superyacht. His attitude soon improved despite his poverty. Captain Jason may not be as concerned with each crew member's individual performance as he is with the group's ability to work together to solve problems. Despite his remarks hinting that he may not have watched much of Below Deck Mediterranean Season 9, while he intervenes when needed, Captain Jason has a history of encouraging his crew to grow as a unit and appears to take pride in their ability to function independently. It was evident from his complimentary remarks about Below Deck Mediterranean chef Jono that the Below Deck Down Under skipper wants Jono to be successful.